Hi everyone, Shai here. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome to another new video. Hotels are usually bustling hubs of activity, with guests coming and going, filling lobbies and pools. But what if we told you there are massive hotels that have never welcomed a single guest? No laughter in the halls, no splashes in the pool, just silence and emptiness. From a sprawling resort in the Philippines to a luxurious complex in North Korea that stands eerily vacant, join us as we uncover the fascinating stories behind these enormous hotels that have never had a single guest. So, here are some of the most strangely abandoned hotels around the world. Number 1. Aurora, the Prora. The Prora can accommodate up to 20,000 guests at a time and has a concert hall, cinema, and a dock for ships. But this enormous hotel has never had a single guest. Construction of the Prora on the German island of Argen in the Baltic Sea started in 1936 when Adolf Hitler envisioned a huge beach resort unlike anything the world had ever seen before. And it was definitely huge. Its 10,000 rooms were divided into 8 housing blocks stretching nearly 3 miles, about 500 feet back from the beach. The hotel's primary purpose was to provide affordable holidays for workers, but Hitler also intended for it to transition into a military hospital in case war broke out. Nearly 9,000 people worked on the hotel's creation, but construction halted 3 years later when World War II began. At that point, the workers were reassigned to war factories, and the hotel remained unfinished, never to see a single guest. However, that doesn't mean it hasn't proved useful. It served as a refugee camp for people from Hamburg and East Germany, and the Russian army used it for a year before stripping it of all usable materials. Later, in 1950, the East German military rebuilt some of the demolished buildings, and it has since been used as a youth hostel, museum, military technical school, asylum seeker camp, and even a disco. These days, Prora is being renovated by private investors, with 4 housing blocks under development, 1 still used as a youth hostel, and 3 remaining in ruins. Number 2. Roy's Motel and Café. The town of Amboy is 60 miles from 29 Palms in California and was made famous when US Route 66 opened in 1926. Roy Crowell opened a service station called Roy's in 1938 and partnered with Herman Burris to expand the business to include a motel, 6 cottages, a cafe, and the gas station. Amboy's population grew to 700 during this time, even boasting a post office and a school. However, it all began to unravel for Roy's and the town of Amboy when Interstate 40 opened in 1973. The new highway caused most traffic to bypass the town, effectively turning Amboy into a ghost town. But it wasn't the end for Roy's completely. Amboy became quite popular as a film set in the 1980s and 1990 seconds, and the iconic Roy's sign appeared in many famous movies like California and The Hitcher. You might even recognize it in music videos like Hero by Enrique Iglesias. In 2005, things finally looked up for Roy's. A Route 66 expert suggested to restaurateur and real estate investor Albert Okura that he should purchase the town. Despite Amboy's eerie, almost Schitt's Creek-like vibes, Albert agreed and bought it for $425,000. He spent $100,000 renovating the buildings and reopened the gas station to the public 3 years later. 5 years after that, he sought donations to restore Roy's neon sign, which used to illuminate the township for miles around. Number 3. Haludovo Palace Hotel. The large Croatian island of Krk in the Adriatic Sea is absolutely stunning, so it was only a matter of time before investors poured their money into a beachside hotel for locals and tourists alike. That day came in 1968 when work began on the luxurious Haludovo Palace Hotel, designed by renowned Croatian architect Boris Maga. The hotel aimed to attract wealthy Westerners to spend their money in Croatia, then part of Yugoslavia. Sicilian-American Bob Guccione thought it was a fantastic idea and invested $45 million to add a casino, known as the Penthouse Adriatic Club Casino. Both the hotel and casino opened in 1972. However, just a year later, the casino went bankrupt and shut down. While the venue was certainly appealing to the wealthy, Yugoslav laws made its success difficult. Yugoslavian nationals weren't allowed to gamble in casinos, and there weren't enough rich non-Yugoslavians to keep it profitable. The Haludovo Palace Hotel remained a luxury destination for several years until the Balkan Wars began in 1991. During the conflict, the hotel served as a refugee shelter. By the time Croatia gained independence in 1995, the hotel was in much worse condition. It continued to operate until 2002 but has since been abandoned. Today, it's unlikely the Haludovo Palace Hotel will ever be transformed back into the luxurious seaside escape it once was. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. Ryugyong Hotel. The Ryugyong Hotel is undeniably magnificent. Standing over 1,000 feet tall, it features more than 3,000 rooms and 5 revolving restaurants that offer panoramic views. From above, it looks like a majestic Christmas tree amidst a skyline of smaller buildings. Construction of this unique hotel began in 1987, with plans to open just 2 years later. However, decades have passed, and the Ryugyong Hotel remains closed. By 1992, the hotel had reached its planned height but was left hollow and windowless for another 16 years. Eventually, glass and metal cladding were added, and LED lights transformed it into a striking, colorful structure at night. Despite these enhancements, the hotel is still not open to the public, earning it the nickname Hotel of Doom. In 2012, an international hotel operator announced plans for a partial opening, but those plans were suspended due to market challenges. In 2019, new signage bearing the hotel's name in English and Korean was installed, but there's been no further news about its potential opening. Number 5. Polissya Hotel. The fate of the Polissya Hotel is tied to the tragic Chernobyl disaster of 1986. When the nuclear explosion and fire occurred, approximately 350,000 people had to evacuate their homes and businesses immediately, leaving many buildings frozen in time, including the Polissya Hotel. Situated in Lenin Square, Pripyat, the hotel was one of the tallest buildings in the area. After the disaster, it served a critical role for liquidators who slept there while managing the aftermath. The hotel's roof was even used as a coordination point for helicopter operations to dump sand, boric acid, and lead into the burning reactors. Once the liquidation efforts ended, the Polissya Hotel was abandoned, like most of Pripyat, and now stands in disrepair, a stark reminder of the disaster. Number 6. Hotel Belvedere, Dubrovnik. Hotel Belvedere in Dubrovnik, Croatia, was once a crown jewel along the Adriatic coast when it opened in 1985. This luxurious hotel boasted stunning views, a helidrome, 5-star services, and even a glass elevator leading directly to the beach. With 18 floors and over 200 rooms, it was a tourist hotspot. However, the Croatian War of Independence in 1991 led to its downfall. Serbian forces attacked Dubrovnik, demolishing the hotel. During the siege, locals used it as a shelter. Today, it stands abandoned, with private property and no trespassing signs warning visitors away. Interestingly, the site still attracts tourists due to Dubrovnik's fame as a filming location for Game of Thrones. Plans to rebuild the hotel are in the works, with Russian billionaire Viktor Vekselberg investing 150 million euros to create a smaller, 50-room luxury hotel. Number 7. Lee Plaza Hotel. Located on West Grand Boulevard in Detroit, Michigan, the Lee Plaza Hotel is a 16-story historic site with a tumultuous past. Developed in 1928 by Ralph T. Lee and designed by architect Charles Noble, it was meant to be an upscale apartment building with hotel services. The building opened in 1929, but the Great Depression hit hard. Ralph T. Lee sold it to the Detroit Investment Company, which soon faced financial troubles. By 1945, both Lee and the Plaza were bankrupt. Over time, interest in luxury apartment living waned. By 1968, it was converted into a senior citizens complex before finally closing in 1997. Despite numerous redevelopment proposals, the Lee Plaza Hotel remains closed, its grandeur slowly fading into history. So, that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this timestamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.